Hello guys, welcome to my next video. So last video I told you how we can set up routing and what are the steps, how we add constant in our app module and how routing works in Angular, and we have gone through all the steps we told you, and you guys also code along with me. As I told you, I have uploaded my code on GitHub handler. You must have downloaded. If you did not, you can go back to my previous video and download that code and code along with me. That will be a player, and that will be a great opportunity for you guys to learn routing in Angular. So far, as you know, we have set up routing for three different components. If you see my screen, there are three components: home, server, and there's component users. So for these three components we have set up routing. We have registered those routes in app.module. If you see that, if you want to see, I can show you. Here's app.module, and we have registered these routes, and also then we have added that those routes in imports, and you see that routing works perfectly. And if we switch URL from servers, then it will load the servers data. If we go to users, it will load users data. So that is working pretty fine. So in this video I will tell you how we can navigate around different components. So if we click on servers, server component should show up. If we click on users, then user component should show up. If we click on home, then home component should show up. So this is the task of current video. If you want to download and code along with me, you can download that code from my GitHub handler. I have added the link in the video's description. You can just download and you can code along with me. So how we will do that? Let's start that. So in that app component we have three links: home, servers, and users. So for home, if we use leading slash, and for server if we use leading slash, and we also define the name of component, and the same thing for the users. If we use users component, if we just write the name of that component. So when we click on server, you see server component is loaded. When we click on user, you see user component is loaded, and same thing goes for the home component because we have just added a leading slash. But guys, there's a problem. There's something wrong with this code. Do you know what? Can you guess it? Yes, you are right. That is wrong in this code, because when we navigate to different component, it reloads the page. So that it should not reload page. It should not refresh the page. That it should just update the DOM. That is the beauty of Angular, as in told you in previous videos too. It is a single page application. We can just navigate to different route, but our DOM will be updated, but page will not reload. In the current scenario, if I click on any route, you see the page is reloading. So how we can do that? There's a very simple solution Angular provides. There's a directive called router link. Instead of href, if we use router link directive, then we can just navigate to different components route easily, and page will not reload at all. So let's see that. So if I replace that, now if we refresh that, so you see when I click on server, when I click on user, if I click on home, so all three components are loading, but page is not reloading. If you notice, if you focus on the page is not reloading at all, but different components are loading in the DOM, and DOM is being updated all the time. So this is the beauty of Angular, how we can navigate. But the other thing is, if you want to pass certain parameters, there's another cool feature of Angular called property binding. So instead of this router link, we can use property binding. You see, for property binding, then we have to pass our component path in inverted comma. You see, if we have passed in inverted comma, now when we go to users link, user component is loaded. If you go to home, I mean, of course, we have just added that property binding on users link, so you see users component are being loaded. So this is called property binding. But there's another feature also for this property binding. We can pass different parameters in array. So we can pass an array also in property binding. How we do that? Let's see. Instead of passing a single value, we can pass array to this directive. So we have passed users array, and our application will still work the same. You see, user component is loading all again, and everything is same, but the difference is, instead of using router link simple directive, we have used property binding, and we have also passed array. So there's also feature or option, we can pass different parameters in the array too. If we want to pass I mean /user, if we want to pass some id or something like that, so that is also a feature, we can do that. For example, in this application, if we want to pass a second parameter, we will just write something. This is something I mean, that could be something, that could be id or something, we can pass in the URL. In our current application, that is not required because we have set up these routes for 3 components. But down the road in future, I will let you know, guys, that how this property binding is efficient and powerful tool to work in complex scenarios, to work in environment where we have to deal with multiple components, and we have to deal with lot of data. So in coming videos, I will tell you that how this property binding is useful in certain scenarios. So guys, stay tuned with me. I will see you in next video, and in next video we will also program something more, and we can learn more in our topic of this Angular routing. Thank you very much.